This is Darnell with iGrill. I've got two pork butt roast here. I'll give you a closer look. That's pork shoulder butt roast, and they call the lower part of the shoulder the butt roast. The upper part of the shoulder is called the picnic cut. That has more bones, so I don't like dealing with the picnic cut. But I'm going to make some pulled pork with these two pork butt roasts. I'm going to be smoking them on the Genesis 2 E310 propane gas grill simultaneously with some Hickory Wood Chunks. And so I'm going to get these cleaned off, and I'm going to bring you back after I get these cleaned off. Alright, so I've got my pork butts out of the bag, rinsed them off good, and before I prepare them, I'm going to just get my injection fluid together. My injection fluid is going to be a cup of apple cider vinegar and a cup of apple juice, and that's going to be it for the injection. I'm just going to prepare that in advance, but before I do the injection I'm going to do some other stuff, but I'm just going to get that fluid together now. And I'll probably, since it'll be 2 cups total, I'll be injecting about a cup of the mixture into each of the pork butts. Alright, there we go. Our injection fluid is ready. Before we do injection, I'm going to, basically I'm going to cover the fat, I'm going to switch it to the fat cap side, and I'm going to cover the fat cap side with some mustard, just some regular French's yellow mustard there, and I'm going to rub that fat cap side afterwards with some, it's called Twisted Q cooked pig seasonings made by BBQ Spot. This is just something I picked up at Walmart. It's got a kind of spicy sweet smell to it, so I think I like it. And so I'm going to prepare that fat cap side, then turn things over, do all the injecting, and then after I do all the injecting, then I'm going to do all the rubbing on the other side, and then they'll be ready to go. So I'm just going to flip these over so they're on the fat cap. And this mustard kind of helps to just bind things together. I will say I find it interesting that they call the lower shoulder of a pig pork butt or Boston butt, but the actual butt of the pig is called ham. So that's some great trivia for your kids. Alright, time to start injecting here. I'm just trying to get my injection in a good view here. All right, so I've got the two pork butts all injected, all rubbed down. I'm going to take you out to the grill, show you my configuration, get things warmed up there. But basically, I've got the iGrill 3 plugs in them, and I'm basically going to cook these uncovered, no mop, with the fat side down. I know some people like fat side up, some like down. You know, every time I cook my meat, it's fat side down. That's how I do it. And so I'm going to cook them till they're 165 degrees. Then I'm going to wrap them up, do that Texas cheat where I wrap them up in foil. I'm going to use about a cup of apple juice, probably like a half cup between two of them. Wrap them up and let them keep cooking till they're 200 degrees internally. Then bring them in, put them in a cooler, put about a quarter cup of apple juice, about half cup total, into each of them, well, into the foil of each of them, wrap them up again, put them in the cooler for about an hour, then it'll be taste test time. So let me take you on out. Alright, let me show you my setup for this cook. Basically, I'm going to have the smoker box off to the left here. You see it to the left? I'm going to have the iGrill 3 ambient probe up here on the warming rack up top there. I'm going to have my pork butts over the two grates there. And I'm going to get things fired up, and once I get things warmed up, I'm going to bring the temp down to about 275 degrees, and then I'll put the pork butts on. So let's get things fired up. Alright, so things are going to start warming up in there. I've got my Hickory Wood Chunks already in there, so once things are up and smoking, I'll bring the temp down. I'll bring you back once I'm ready to put these pork butts on. Alright, I'm going to show you the iGrill temps just before I start putting the pork butt on. That's just a preview of the temps before I open things up. But I know that temp's going to get down a little lower when I open things up, so I'm just going to try to keep it at 275 after I open it and start things cooking. But I'm going to put the two pork butts on now. See, my smoker box is smoking good. Those hickory chips have been smoking overnight there. I'll be probably adding more, maybe every 1 or 2 hours, probably every 2 once I get good into the cooking. Hear a little thunder in that background. I didn't start this cook earlier because it was supposed to rain, and then it was not supposed to rain, so I'm hoping that all we get is thunder with no thunder showers, Lord willing. We'll see what happens. Get my iGrill strings out the way there. Further back. Alright, I think we've got things well situated now. I'm going to close it up and bring you back in a little while when there's something worth talking about. One thing I forgot to mention is obviously I'm using the indirect heat here. I've only got, after the preheat, I've only got this far left knob at about a quarter, and that's probably around where it'll probably set the entire cook, unless I need to turn it up a little more to get things up to that 275 degree mark. Out here the temperature is, I'm checking my weather app here. The temperature is currently 87 degrees with a real feel of 97. Humidity is 60%. wind is 7 miles an hour, and there may or may not be rain during this cook, but we're going to pray that there's not too much, if it does rain at all. My propane is kind of below a half tank, so I've got a reserve tank inside that I'll break out if I need to during this cook. Alright, I'm an hour 30 minutes into the cook. As you may be able to see, it's raining out there pretty good. I can't open the cook box to put any more wood chips in. I was going to do that every 2 hours, so I was going to do that in about 30 minutes, but with all this rain, there's no way I'm going to be able to put wood chips in there again. I'm going to leave it out there. I know some cooks would bring it in and finish it in the oven and just cook their pork butts in the oven, but the gas is still going, so I'm going to keep cooking. Things are still working. The iGrill's even still working. I was concerned about the iGrill 3 being able to work, but it's still working. I went out there and I turned the gas up a little bit so that I could make sure that things are going to stay closer to that 275 degree mark. I'm trying to see if I can give you a look. You can see where I moved that knob a little up from a quarter. I've been having to play back and forth with it depending on the temp. I'm showing you my iGrill on the screen so that you see where the temp is rising slowly since I turned it up a little. But these are the conditions you have to deal with sometimes when you're outside grilling and smoking. It just comes with the territory. So we'll see how this thing looks later on today. Alright, after almost 2 hours straight of strong storms, the grill made it through it fine, iGrill made it through it fine, things are still cooking. I'm going to put some more wood chunks in the smoker box and keep this party going. I'm going to go get my tool here and I'm going to open it up. Alright, this is after 3 hours of cooking here. Things are looking like they're coming along very well. Drop the smoker box a little bit. Try and get that up. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab my gloves so I can straighten that smoker box up. Alright, I'm going to get my glove on here. These gloves are great for having to touch anything hot. Alright, I got it good and open. I am having to deal with when the wood chunks get hot. They do increase the temp in here a little bit, but the rain causes it to go down some, but I don't think we're going to get any more rain. So it's a back and forth when the temperature changes a little bit. So I'm going to throw these in here and wait a couple hours and we'll see what happens. I'll bring you back in a couple hours, or if things get to 165 on one of those before then, I'll bring you back then. Alright, so we're 6 hours into the cook. I'm going to show you my iGrill. It shows that the one to the left, the one closest to the smoker box, which is, smoker box is right next to the burner that's running on the far left. That pork butt is at 165. I'm going to put it in the Texas cheap. The one to the right is about 20 degrees lower. Shows you the difference with one just being a little further away from the heat source than the other. But the one that is closer to the left is right around where the iGrill ambient probe is, so that's probably getting the true near 275 temp or so. Kind of fluctuates, but around there. So I'm going to put that in the Texas cheat. I think I'm going to let you have a look here. You can see these have a nice caramelized look. I'm going to zoom you in here. see these have a nice caramelized look on them now. They're well cooked outside. I'm going to take that one on the right, probably move it over to the left, and just take the one that's to the left now, put it in Texas cheat, and put it on the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and do some of that maneuvering now, and hope it don't mess anything up along the way. Alright, about as best as we can do for that. I'm going to close it on up like that, and this one here on the left side should probably start warming up a bit faster now. Then throw it in the Texas cheat, and the one here on the right now is going to have to get up to 200 before I put it into the cooler. But on the iGrill, you'll start seeing the one that's on the top is actually going to be the one on the right now. The one on the bottom is going to be the one on the left. So I'll bring you back in a little bit. Alright, when I put foil on top of that, over top of that one pork butt that's already pretty warm, it still had a little gap on the top. So I'm just going to cover a little more of that gap. I'll zoom you in so you can see that. See, there's like some gaps there in the foil. I just want to get those covered up so that it's totally sealed tight. Alright, so I'll bring you back when there's something more to show off here. Alright, so it's been 8 hours, and another bad storm came through for about another hour. Rained pretty hard, and the grill held up. iGrill 3 held up the entire time, no problems. And now the one on the left is up to 165. I'm going to put it in a Texas cheat. I'm going to swap them again. So the one that was originally on the left, I'm going to put back over to the left. The one that is currently on the left is going to be moved over to the right. So I'm going to start moving them around now. And the temp, since it seems the one that sets to the right doesn't get as much heat, obviously, I'm going to let the temp inside stick around 295, just so that they both get a good bit of heat. And they're both going to be wrapped up now anyway, so should be okay for them. I'm just going to get this one here on the left in the foil and pour a half cup of apple juice on it. Alright, I think we got them good and foiled up. I'm going to close it up here, let them both get to 200, and after that I'll throw them in the cooler. So I'll bring you back in a little bit. Alright, it's been a little over 10 hours. The one on the left has hit 200 degrees. I'm going to pull it off. After I pull it off, I'm going to move the one that's on the right over a little so that it's getting a little more of the heat, since it's been moving along slowly and didn't get that one up. But the one on the left, I'm going to bring that in and put it in the cooler, so I'll let you see some of that now. Alright, I'll take this one on inside, get them in the cooler. Alright, I got that first one inside, so I'm going to go ahead and pour about a quarter cup of apple juice in there and put it in the cooler. Before I do that, do you a real quick close-up so you can have a look at it. I gotta get that iGrill probe out of there. See if I can get a zoom for you. Let me get some more of that soil out the way. And get a good look at it. Looks nice and done. So let me pull out on my zoom. I'm gonna go ahead and get that iGrill probe out. Put that quarter cup of apple juice on it and stick it in the cooler. Let it sit in the cooler for 1 hour, and then it'll be time to taste test. Alright, pouring the apple juice on there. Just give it a little extra moisture when it's reabsorbing. Alright, I'll bring you back when I've got the second one all done inside. It's still got a bit of a ways to go. It's like at about 181 degrees, so it's got a little more cooking out there to do. But I'll bring you back when I throw that one in the cooler, and after that we'll do some taste testing on one of these. Alright, so I ended up going to get another cooler for the other pork butt, but it seems that it's still not ready yet. It's been almost 12 hours cooking for that second one, and the first pork butt is done setting for an hour. It's been 11 and a half hours total time working on these. So I'm going to get this one out of the cooler there and do the taste test for it. And the other, I'll just show you when that comes off the grill later. I'll probably just end up reusing the same cooler for the second pork butt since it's not out yet. Drop some these little pork pieces out, little foil pieces out the way. I'm going to take, there's this bone here I'm going to get out. This is the only bone in the pork butt, so kind of big, kind of like a dinosaur bone almost. Let's see, I'm going to try and get a piece off and just show it to you. I'm going to try and give you a look at kind of the smoking of it. You can see there, looks pretty good. It smells good. And you can just actually, I guess if you have the bear claws, you can use those, or if you just have a couple forks, you can, this stuff's so tender you can just tear it apart, and that's how you get your pulled pork. You just pull it all apart there, nice and easy. It just falls apart because it's so tender from cooking. But I'm not going to do a full pulling. I'm just going to do a taste test of a piece with you real quick here. So I'm just going to get a piece off. I'll just have to get another fork when I pull the rest off. You can get a good piece. Alright. You can get a plate because I don't want it dripping on my floor. Alright, got some foil that may have made a mess. That's pretty good pulled pork there. Basically throw that on a sandwich with some sauce and good to go. I'll be getting the other one out a little later, so I'll bring you back after I get that one out and let it set and do a taste test on that. But since you've already seen how it's done, how I get it out and how I put it in the cooler and all, I'll just bring you back after we're near the end of that one for the taste test. Alright, so at this point it was about 4:30 in the morning in my time zone, and I was pretty tired, and I think I did something, didn't get the audio going right, but second pork butt reached 195 degrees after 13 hours, and then put it in the cooler for an hour, so after 14 hours total, it was completely finished, and this is where I had gotten it out of the cooler already, and I'm going to start the actual taste test of this one. They both turned out excellent. This was a pretty fun experience because it really showed me how resilient the grill and iGrill are to some adverse conditions and the rain and such. Now I'm going to show you the actual pork butt meat here. It's pulled pork now. And I'm just going to raise it up a little more so you can get a better view of it. So there it is. So you can get a good look at it. And now I'm going to do the actual tasting here. I also wanted to mention I'm starting a new website, which is dgrillsmoke.com. That's dgrillsmoke.com. But here I'm eating the pulled pork, and it's tender. This one, the second one had a bit more smoky flavor than the first. They're both awesome, but this one had a little more of the smoky taste to it. And so I hope you really liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. You can share it with your friends. You can subscribe to the channel. And as you can see there, I'm enjoying it. And it was, as I said, very good. But I wish you all good eating.